Hey, what's happening? Welcome back to the GM. I'm your guy, Boulanger. And up next, man, we're going to jump into another clip from the Todd Monken presser from today, uh, where he's been introduced as the Baltimore Ravens' new OC, and he's talking football X's and O's with the reporters. So, with no further ado, man, let's jump into it. We'll come back for some commentary afterwards.
John, did John Harbaugh or Eric DaCosta, what did they tell you concerning the long-term availability of Lamar Jackson, and did any uncertainty there weigh in your decision making?
Well, okay, first of all, I count on Eric and John. They're best in the business. They're going to take care of anything that has to do with any player, not just Lamar. Sure, any player that's part of a roster where you're going into, you have an interest of what the roster is going to look like. But ultimately, I want to be someplace where structure, organization, great on defense from top to bottom. And everywhere I talked to, and everybody I talked to, excuse me, said you want to be a Baltimore Raven. You want to be a part of that organization moving forward.
How difficult will it be? Uh, Lamar holds out, comes the first week of the season. How far behind will he be with your install?
Oh, I'm sure he'll be behind, but it's still just football. I mean, I think sometimes we make this out to be way too much. I mean, it's just football. It's been playing. I don't know when he started, maybe at 5 years old with the Purple Pounders or something in Miami or something. I mean, it's just football. Like, we'll cater to what he knows and play. But I mean, it's like any player. If any player is like that, to where they'd be, the more time you spend with them, the more comfortable they get with any system. Or relationship. That's part of it. And there's a big part of that relationship from a quarterback, coordinator, play caller, position coach, where they're comfortable and there's a trust that is a big part of that. And that's built over time. Even beyond individual plays is that comfort of like, hey, we're going to give you the keys to this car. Let's see what you can do. That happens a lot more in the off season. I'm kind of now expanding it. Like in the off season is where you experiment. That's where you kind of, let the quarterback have some reins with it. As you get closer to the season, that kind of goes away a little bit. You have to start game planning and really be dialed into what you're going to do.
You've worked with a lot of different quarterbacks. How would you describe the skill set you would have to work with Lamar Jackson?
Elite. He's got an elite skill set. I mean, it's obvious when you watch him on film. I mean, the things he can do with the football and the plays that he makes. And I think he's underrated as a passer. Maybe I think so in terms of his ability to make plays and throw it down the field. So you've all seen it. I mean, I'm like you. I'm no different than you. I watch what you guys watch, and it's pretty amazing.
Have you worked with anyone similar in your many?
No,
Nothing like.
no.
So, what would you say some of the strengths and weaknesses of this offense? I would assume you probably watched the film in the free time. What would you say they are?
That's hard because, first of all, when I first started watching film, there's a transition because Lamar has been here for a while, and the roster changes around players and injuries add to that. And I first started watching and I'm like, wow, they do really good stuff in the run game. Like, holy cow, that is very creative. And at first I was watching it going, I have no idea of why they want me there. Like, I don't know what I'm going to be able to be better at, truly. I was like, wow, they did some really good things. And, as you continue to watch and, players dictate style of.
So as we saw, Todd Monken is just what I thought he was in the first clip that I showed you. He's a straight shooter. He doesn't pull any punches. He says what he means, and I really, really appreciate that. Um, he's definitely very crafty with his words and very conservative not to allow the questions being asked to pull him in a direction that causes him to answer something he's not comfortable with answering. Um, and so, but the first thing that we saw in this clip was a question regarding has John Harbaugh or EDC gave him any information on the long-term future of Lamar Jackson in Baltimore? And that answer is no. He didn't say no, but I'm saying that that answer is no. You see, if I'm going to be the OC, as I mentioned earlier, if I'm the OC, the first person I'm talking to is my dynamic franchise quarterback. I'm going to call him. I want to recruit him. I want to tell him, hey, these are some things we want to put in place. This is what we want you to run. Here's how we're going to, increase and improve the passing game. I'm telling him all these things because I want him to stay. You follow what I'm saying? You see, if I'm coming in uh, uh, as the head of the offense, then I need to talk to the head of the offense on the field, especially if he's a free agent and there's a potential for him to leave. I want him to feel as comfortable with me as possible. I want to develop a relationship early, which then in some aspects may cause Lamar to say, hey, you know what? I want to be here even more. Man, Coach Monken, man, he got it together, man. He has a plan and a direction and a vision for this offense. And so if they haven't talked and he's been in Baltimore almost a week now, that is certainly red flags. Because why wouldn't this conversation have already taken place? Why wouldn't he have reached out and say, hey man, let's sit down, break bread together, have a conversation. What are you envisioning? So I can, and then he tells Lamar what he's envisioning, and then they share mutual interest in what they would like to see the offense become. And so this hasn't happened, man. So I think that the Baltimore Ravens are certainly in preparation to live life without Lamar. But I told you in a previous video, one point that I made that was super interesting that I thought was that Todd Monken comes from the college ranks. Baltimore had all these interviews with OCs who were already in the game. Although Monken has pro experience, he comes from Georgia, and I believe it plays well in the fact that he's going to be most familiar with this upcoming class of college quarterbacks, from Bryce Young to C.J. Stroud to Levis. So he's going to know all of them. He's seen them. He's probably helped his defense game plan for them, especially being in the SEC facing Levis and also Bryce Young. And then also I think they played Ohio State in the college playoff. So he knows these quarterbacks very well. He knows their skill set, know what they can do, know their limitations, know their strengths, know their weaknesses. So the Baltimore Ravens offense is in position, if they hit reset with Lamar, to grab one of these young guys and maybe not hit the ground running, but be in position to still be in playoff contention and things of that nature. So listen, man, I think it's a good hire. Again, everything's going to depend on what we do in free agency. If you let Lamar go and you go with a rookie, I think that they certainly decrease their chances of getting veteran wideouts, which means now you got to go and build through the draft. And like I showed you, EDC has not done that well in the draft with wide receivers. And so, man, if Lamar leaves, we're looking for probably a 9-win, 10-win season, which I think would be adequate if we lost Lamar. I think we could pull off a 9 or 10 wins because we have a rock solid defense, or at least it should be rock solid by the time free agency and the draft is over. So then, listen, let me know what you guys want me to know, man. This is the last live video I make for the week. I'm gonna be traveling. I got some things scheduled to be released this week, man. I got some trades, so please stay tuned for that. I got another EDC video where we target him again and tell the truth about him. So stay tuned for all those things, man. Hit the like button, hit, comment, share, all those kind of things, man. I appreciate you guys for rocking out with us. I'm your guy Boulanger. This is the GM, and I'm out.